Hey guys, welcome to Top 10 Gaming. If you're new to the channel, hey, happy to have you here. And what a video to join us for, the top 10 worst video game ripoffs. Now, by worst, we mean games that are actually terrible in terms of gameplay and overall aesthetics. But we also take a look at ripoffs that were just terrible in general, in the sense that they were lazy and incredibly obviously copycats. If you're going to plagiarize, at least do it with style. That being said, let's jump in. And number 10 is Super Noahs Ark 3D. This unlicensed title had to use a bypass slot on the top of its cartridge. Basically, you had to pop on a licensed game on top of it in order it to work for the SNES system. So naturally, this caused it to have a whole lot of trouble accessing the system's full capabilities. Because of this, it was slow, had crappy graphics, and had pretty much identical gameplay to Wolfenstein 3D, except it took place in an Ark. And instead of shooting enemies and Nazis, you had to shoot your animals with a slingshot to put them to sleep, and sometimes feed them. Fun. Up next, number 9 is Garshop. This one is God of War but Persian mythology. Garshop is an Iranian game with a combat system that's pretty much identical to that of God of War, and just rotten with glitches and really bad camera movements. And it even had the same kind of intensity in terms of graphics, fonts, and music that the God of War franchise had. Up next, number 8 is Chrome. A ripoff of Halo. A lot of first-person shooter games echo Halo, mainly because the game did a lot for the genre, causing a lot of FPCs to adopt some of its smoother gameplay contributions, like the dedicated grenade button. But using the achievements and advancements of another game isn't the same as copying it, as we see is the case with PC ripoff Chrome, who clearly had made many aesthetic choices in order to look closer to Halo. Choices that were executed really badly. Those faces. Up next, number 7 is Nova. Speaking of Halo, here's another ripoff game. This one is a little more aggressive with its copycatting though, using similar weapon models and including a holographic female sidekick. This one is significantly better looking than Chrome, but if anything, that kind of makes it worse. It's like the dollar store version of Halo. Fun. Up next, number 6 is Limbo of the Lost, and also my personal favorite on this list. The 2008 game is a point-and-click adventure that heavily pulls from World of Warcraft, Oblivion, and Thief, but it's really lackluster and has a Gollum ripoff character. First released in Europe in 2007 and later in North America in 2008, the graphics are painfully subpar. The dialogue is real rough, and many a player felt it plagiarized the crap out of a number of different fantasy and sci-fi titles. And all of the characters constantly have weird expressions on their face that make you super uncomfortable. A+ for what the factor. It's so bad. Up next, number 5 is Total Miner Forge. Wonder what this game is a ripoff of. I mean, yeah, how could you not guess Minecraft? Look at it. Aesthetically, it's so very similar, and the game actually progressively became more and more like Minecraft as the updates went on. In terms of game mechanics, they're basically the same. Total Miner was released in 2011, whereas Minecraft came out in 2009. So yeah, think we got a copycat on our hands here. Up next, number 4 is Fighter's History. Well, this is basically Street Fighter 2, but the details have changed. And not even by that much. They're pretty much identical. It's like the developer Data East Corp was like, it, we don't even care enough to try to make this title distinct. Bare minimum effort on their part. Anyway, Capcom immediately sued them after the game was released, to which Data East was all like, well, our game Karate Champ was the true originator of the competitive fighting game genre, which predated Street Fighter, so yeah, not really an excuse there. Also, female Ryu. Just saying, it's weird. Not that she's female, but just that, you know, it's like literally the same. Up next, number 3 is the great Gianna Sisters. This German game received a lot of criticism for its similarities to Super Mario Bros., which led to rumors of an alleged lawsuit. It follows a girl named Gianna, who travels through 32 dungeons of monsters and her nightmares while looking for her sister Maria, which in theory sounds like a really cool concept, but in execution, well, it's just kind of Super Mario Bros. The game was pulled from stores, which led to the lawsuit rumors, although both the German developers and Nintendo have denied that such a lawsuit ever existed. The game did get a lot of critical praise though, especially for its soundtrack, which has actually gone down history as one of the most popular video game soundtracks of all time. And our number 2 spot is Golden Axe Warrior. Golden Axe Warrior was a spin-off to the highly successful arcade game Golden Axe, but for the Sega Master System back in 1991. Rather than mold the game after what made Golden Axe so successful in the first place, developers basically just copied The Legend of Zelda. While it received a lot of positive reviews, much of the pushback against it wasn't until years and years after its release, most notably with IGN including the game on its A History of Gaming's Most Shameless Ripoffs Ripoffs article, in which they pointed out the map similarities and the eerily similar soundtrack. And finally, in our number 1 spot is Pong. Yep, a famous classic is actually a blatant ripoff of Magnavox's Odyssey's analog engineered game Table Tennis. The Odyssey was the first home video game console, released in 1972, and Table Tennis came with the system, which was only capable of displaying 3 square dots on the screen in monochrome black and white. The dots would do different things depending on the game you were playing. Atari copied the game, elongating the dots so that they were paddles. And of course, Magnavox tried to sue them. And then Atari forked out a one-time $700,000 licensing fee after evidence surfaced of Nolan Bushnell being at an Odyssey trade show, covering up those tracks. Alright, there we have it, friends. Have you played any of these ripoffs? Are there any ripoffs we should have included on our list? Let us know in those comments below. And hey, if you dug this video, hit those like and subscribe buttons. We've got a ton of other fun gaming videos for you guys to check out, so give one of them a click. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one.